Hi there, Brian McAboy with Inside Out Trading, and I got a question for you. You ever notice how when you buy a trading course, and maybe it's a book or whatever on trading, or you sign up for this weekend boot camp on how to be a trader and all that kind of stuff? You ever notice how you go through these and you get to the end of it, and it's things still aren't working the way the guy that or woman that sold it to you, things aren't working the same way that they presented it to you, and you're sitting there and it's like, man, what the heck? I'm doing everything you showed me how to do, and I'm not getting nearly the results. And this sucks. It's not working. You ever run into that where you're sitting there and you're like, you just kind of have this feeling. It's, wait a minute, you're leaving something out. There's something still missing here. Years ago, long before trading, I've always had an entrepreneurial itch anyway. So I signed up for this one course, or actually, I don't know if you remember the Gold Sea books, coupon books that the kids in school would sell for fundraising and stuff. I did one of those for the town that I lived in, and it was cool. And I did it, and I got it off the ground, but I wanted to do better at it. So I signed up for this course. There was a guy who actually had this course on how to put together a coupon book business. And so I signed up for it, and there's all these other people. We show up for this training. It's a 3-day training in a hotel, and the big meeting rooms. And we're in there, and I'm talking to these other people that had signed up for it too. And we're all talking, and the guy that sold the course, he's crushing it. He's making all this kind of money, and we're all walking around. It's, how are you doing? It's like, yeah, I'm not really making any money. And, how about you? Yeah, I'm not really making any money either. And we're all looking at each other, and it's, did you do everything in the course? Yeah. How about you? Yeah. Do you ever do? Yeah. So did I. And it's, what the hell? And so we're spending all this time with the guy. And we're all sitting there saying, what the heck? Why is you're sitting there making all this money, but all of us, or nobody's making the same kind of money you are. Nobody's even coming close. And so the guy, he's telling his story. And one of the big keys that he left out of all that he trained us on, because a lot of it was all the details, the technical stuff. This is how how you want to lay it out. This is how you make all the calls, all yada. What he didn't tell everybody was, as far as selling the books, he joined his local chamber of commerce and was able to market it to all the businesses in his town. And because he was a chamber member, they were happy to help him pimp the book and sign people up. And that was his big leverage. But he didn't bother to tell anybody that. And we're all sitting there going, oh, yeah, nice. Would have been nice to know. And so with trading, it's the same way. I've had a ton of people over the years come to me and they're like, yeah, Brian, I bought all kinds of systems and they all suck. And they just don't work. And I'm like, wait a minute, because there are a couple of guys, the ones that had sold him the course or the strategy. I know him. That's not a junk trading system you bought. That's actually a good strategy. It works. I've used it. And he said, no, it's not. It sucks. I tried it, and I couldn't make any money with it. I'm like, wait a minute. So let's take a look at how he was teaching you this strategy and how to trade it. What I discovered was, and this is extremely common, is they're good at the strategy. Whoever it is that creates a strategy, assuming they're an ethical person, not just some marketer that's pimping stuff, but there's plenty of that in the space. But it's actually a real trader. He's developed a real strategy that he's actually used and made money with, and he sells it to people, and they're not making money. So what happens in that kind of a situation? What's going on there? What I've learned over the years, and so I've worked with several system sellers and brokers who teach trading, there's a difference between having a strategy and the consistent execution of it, and understanding how to build a process that will yield repeatable results and then executing it consistently. That's a whole different skill set. Just because you have a solid strategy, that's only one piece of the puzzle. There's way more to it. And even if it's a rules-based strategy, yes, you need rules, but rules are only one out of 14 characteristics that a solid process has. Back in my quality engineering days, we had to develop processes to make sure that I was responsible for a $100 million plant. We had 183 employees, 7 different departments, all kinds of different jobs, 4 different shifts, and of course, overtime. And it was my job as a quality manager, quality engineer, to make sure that we got consistent performance out of everybody. So I spent most of my time not on doing SPC on the machines, but working with developing processes for the people to do their jobs, setting up training programs so that everybody would execute consistently and comfortably and naturally. And that's what I brought to trading, is how to do the execution part, how to build that really, truly solid, highly repeatable process that's easy to understand, that you can hand to a trader who doesn't already know it, and they can go execute it well. and consistently and easily without struggle. And so it's building the process and how to set up the training to get the consistent execution. That's usually what's left out of it. And I'm not knocking anybody. I've known a lot of different trading providers over the years, guys and some women teaching different methods. And even when I talk to them, it's honestly, how long does it take for somebody to get good with your method where they're trading confidently and making money with it? Usually the answer that I get is honestly, it's going to take 12 to 18 months, maybe 2 years before they're really solid with it. And yeah, they're doing well. And I'm like, that sucks. That it shouldn't take that long. But what I was able to do with my trading, what I teach traders is how to shorten that curve massively. Instead of months and years, we're talking weeks. Seriously. If you have a process to really get good at a strategy, how to build a solid process on it, how to test it out properly, how to get good at it, how to wire yourself for consistent execution and good execution, comfortable execution, and confidence, when you have a process for that, you shorten the time frame. You don't have to put in 10,000 screen hours. Seriously, we're talking weeks, like 6 to 8 weeks. It's pretty cool. When you have a process for it, you can go from 80% to 100%, and now you're there with confidence and with knowing, with that peace of mind that, yeah, I've got a solid strategy. Yeah, I've got a solid process. Yeah, I'm solid trading it. And I can go to the markets with confidence and peace of mind, and such peace of mind that my emotions stay calm. I'm not tormented by my emotions that cause me to make mistakes and to give up all my profits. Cool. So I hope this has been helpful. I really do. That's the main thing that's left out is how to get good at this. Usually it just takes a lot of years of beating your head on the rock. That's how the road most traders take. That's why they say in most trading books, they say it takes 5 to 22 years to become a truly consistently profitable trader. That's if you're doing it the hard way. If you're just doing it by plodding along, that's the hard way. If you have a process to shorten the curve and truly get good at it fast, with confidence, with a proven process, that's the way you want to do it. If you'd like to find out more, swing by insideouttrading.com. If you've gotten some good takeaways out of this video, share it with me in the comment down below. Or if there's something you'd like to find out about trading, if you've got a question, maybe there is something lingering, you're sort of saying, yeah, I kind of wonder about this. What is kind of left out of this? Why is the psychology of trading so hard? How do I find a good trading strategy? If you'd like me to make a video on it, put it in the comments down below. I do read the comments. I'd be more than happy to make a video answering your questions. I'm sure that there are a lot of other traders that have the same question. It'd be a good answer for them too. Again, I hope this has been helpful. Swing by insideouttrading.com. Got some freebies there for you. You can book a call. We'll talk about what's going on with your trading. Anyway, don't just sit there settling for less than you deserve and you desire. Talk to you soon. Cheers.